In our last Bible study, we saw Jesus go into the temple courts and cleanse them. He was driving out animals with a whip and overturning the money changers' tables, and he was calling out the corruption that had turned his father's house into a marketplace. And his actions immediately caught the attention of the religious leaders, and so they came and confronted him, and they demanded, "What sign do you show us that you do these things?" Or as Matthew's gospel puts it, "By what authority are you doing these things?" Jesus' answer is going to reveal to us something about Jesus, not only about who he is, but about what his mission is on this earth. He said, "Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I'll raise it up." Well, the religious leaders looked around them at the huge stone blocks of the temple and the towering columns, and they kind of scoffed at him, like, "This temple has taken 46 years to build, and you're going to raise it in 3 days?" But John gives us a clue here about what Jesus meant. He said he was speaking of the temple of his body. And this is something the disciples, they wouldn't understand right away. It was only after they saw him crucified and his body lay in the tomb and him rise from the dead 3 days later that they remembered this moment and went, "Oh, that's what he meant. He was talking about his body." But in order for us to fully grasp this, I want to go back once again to the Old Testament, to Exodus, where God has given Moses the instructions for a tabernacle. And the Bible says that when Moses completed the work of building the tabernacle, that the cloud descended upon the tabernacle and that the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle so that Moses could not even enter. Now hold that picture in your mind as we go back to John chapter 1, where the apostle has said about Jesus this in verse 14, "And the Word became flesh and tabernacled among us." This immediately evokes that image of the tabernacle in the wilderness surrounded by the tribes of Israel. The Word became flesh and tabernacled among us, and we have seen what? We've seen his glory. Glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. Jesus is and always was the true temple of the living God. And so implicit in his response to the religious leaders is this: you want to know by what authority I'm doing these things? How about the fact that I am the very substance of what this temple we're standing in only points to? I am the holiest of holies, the very dwelling place of the glory of God. My flesh is the veil that will be torn to open the way to my Father. I'm the great high priest who ever lives to make intercession for his people. I am the altar of incense, as the prayers of the saints will be lifted up before the very throne of God in my name, and my blood is the blood that will be shed to atone for the sins of the world. The things I do as the true temple of the living God.